When I transferred schools, I sat next to a bad boy and heard him think, "He's so cute." Most people dread the first day at a new school. I started mine by hearing a boy think I was cute, the same boy who looked like he could break me with a glance. I had barely stepped foot into Jefferson High when I realized two things. One, this school was nothing like the quiet suburban academy I had come from. And two, the social hierarchy here revolved around one named Damon Voss. He was the kind of boy mothers warned their omegas about. Dark eyes that didn't blink often, a smirk that could slice through silence, and fists that settled more debates than reason ever could. But none of that prepared me for what happened when I sat next to him in Mr. Calloway's senior literature class. Because the moment I slipped into the seat beside him, I heard it. Clear. Undeniable. "He's so cute. Damn it." I froze. No one else heard it. How could they? It was in his mind. See, there's something I don't usually tell people. I'm a rare type of omega. A cognitive receptor. I hear thoughts. Not always. Not everyone. But when emotions run high, especially between alphas and betas, my brain tunes in like a radio. And Damon Voss had just unintentionally broadcasted his first message. It wasn't the last. High school was a war zone of hormones, and being an omega who could read minds made it worse. Most people wanted to stay invisible. I wanted to stay sane. But Damon made that impossible. He kept showing up. At my locker. In the library. Even the bleachers during gym when I was excused due to a mild heat cycle. Sometimes he didn't speak. Just sat. Arms crossed. Silent. But his thoughts never were. He always tucks his hair behind his ear like that. Who hurt him before he came here? If anyone lays a hand on him, I should have been afraid. I'd heard he once broke a kid's nose just for looking at his sister. I should have run the other way. But Damon never acted on those thoughts. Never cornered me. Never made me uncomfortable. If anything, he seemed more afraid of me than I was of him. And that's when I realized he wasn't a bad boy. Not really. He was just misunderstood. Like me. The turning point came the night of the spring festival. I didn't plan on going. My heat cycle was nearing and everything felt too much: the music, the crowds, the overwhelming emotions. But my foster mom insisted. Said I needed friends. Said I needed to try. So I went. Big mistake. Halfway through the night, I bumped into Jared, the school's quarterback and alpha. Drunk. Loud. Touchy. He cornered me behind the bleachers. His scent thick in the air. Testosterone laced with beer and arrogance. "You're that new omega, right? The mind-reading freak?" He slurred. "Bet you know what I'm thinking right now." I did, and I hated it. I tried to push past him, but he grabbed my wrist. Tight. His thoughts weren't thoughts anymore, they were instincts. Ugly ones. I was about to scream when a voice cut through. "You touch him again and I'll put you in the ER." Damon. He didn't wait for Jared to move. One punch. One slam against the fence. And it was over. Jared limped away. Damon stood there, chest heaving, eyes wild. I looked into his mind, expecting rage, violence. But all I heard was, "Is he okay? Please be okay. Please don't be scared of me." I wasn't. Instead, I stepped forward, laid my hand on his chest, felt the rhythm of his heart racing beneath my palm, and whispered, "Thank you." He didn't say a word, just nodded. But that night he walked me home. And when we reached my porch, I turned and said, "I hear you, you know." "I know," he replied. His voice was low, almost broken. "And you still let me close. Because your thoughts are the only ones that ever made me feel safe." He kissed me, soft, careful, like I'd shatter if he tried harder. I didn't. I melted. But high school love is never simple, especially when you're Damon Voss. And your father is the town sheriff who despises omegas. We kept our relationship quiet. Notes passed in class. Glances across the cafeteria. Late-night texts. Then one afternoon, his father found us. We were in Damon's garage. I was in his arms, laughing. The sheriff's voice was a gunshot. "Get your hands off that filth." Damon stepped in front of me. "He's not filth. He's manipulating you." Those freak Omega powers. I love him. Silence. Then fists. Words. Screams. Damon's mother called the police. His uncle pulled them apart. I left. I didn't go to school for a week. My scent was all over that garage. The sheriff filed a complaint with the school board. I thought it was over, until Damon stood in front of my house with a duffel bag and a bruised cheek. I'm staying with my aunt, and I'm not hiding anymore. But Damon, your future. You are my future. I cried. He kissed me again, and this time we didn't let go. Graduation came. Damon held my hand through the ceremony. My name was called, and when I stepped off the stage, he whispered, "I still think you're the cutest thing I've ever seen." I laughed. "You're not broadcasting that to the whole gym, are you?" "Just you." Years later, we bought a house in Portland. He studied music production. I went into counseling for gifted Omegas. Sometimes I still hear his thoughts, like when I burn the toast. He's hopeless, or when I fall asleep on the couch. I'd give up the world just to keep watching him breathe. And every night, as we lay in bed, his mind whispers the same thing it did the day we met. He's so cute. Damn it. And I still blush. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.